What's going on, everybody? Kramer back with another video from spookypoker.com, and today I'm just going to be giving you a quick video rundown on how to deal with people who have like a zero fold to CBET. And this is fairly common at the micros. There's a lot of people that just love to see hands, love to make draws and hit their hands, and we love to take their money. So I'm going to be giving you a few ways to beat them. And this is going to be a way to cover, like, I think this covers all different aspects of like hold'em. Like, I can't think of any other situations where you wouldn't want to play like one of these three strategies. So let's get into it. So there's going to be three strategies, and they're going to be contingent upon your hand and also the other player's tendencies. So obviously the other player's tendency is that they're going to have like a 0 or close to 0 fold to CBET. And this is also, it's worth keeping in mind, this needs to be over several hands, not just like if you look at their stats and it says 0 fold to CBET, but then you hover it and it says like 0 out of 1. Okay, that doesn't mean they never fold to CBET. So I do want to clarify that. So moving on. So the first strategy, this is like the most important one. The other two are fairly self-explanatory, but I'll just talk about this one. So I actually had this situation when I was playing last night. And one thing that you can do against people who have 0 fold to CBET is that you can barrel very profitably because they will call you so light. So what happened yesterday is I had like 7-9 of spades or something, and I raised, and someone defended, and the board came king 10 of hearts, and then like a deuce, just offsuit deuce, and basically I just triple barreled, and the run out was like. So there's obviously like king 10, I CBET, and he called, and then he called the turn as well, which was like another just blank, like a three of clubs or something. So basically what's going through my head at this point is that this guy has so many like ace queen, ace jack, even weak kings like king 6, like suited or even offsuit. Like people who have 0 fold to CBET and a high VP, they'll call you down with anything. They'll have ace 10, they'll have 10-6, like all these like really random hands. So anyway, the moral of the story is we can just barrel into these guys, because when someone is calling so darn often, they just simply can't justify calling 3 barrels from someone they don't know anything about, especially when they're big barrels. So I'll even sometimes incorporate overbet bluffs here. Betting something like 1.25x pot, 1.5x pot, just pot in general on the river if I feel like they've got a strong hand. But the point is that they will be calling you down with like ace highs, the ace jacks. They'll be calling you down with like weak 10s and all sorts of like straight draws and flush draws. And it's for this reason that we can profitably, assuming that your read is on, and you understand their range and everything, you can profitably like 3-barrel bluff them as long as everything misses. And again, just to reiterate, this is because they will call you down with absolutely anything, and for that reason, by the time they get to the river, it is just very hard to keep calling, especially when you're playing the micros where people really don't 3-barrel bluff very often. So the second kind of hand that we're going to be talking about is hands that can improve on later streets, especially ones with like backdoor straight and backdoor flush draws. So just a random hand example, 7-4 of clubs, and it comes like jack of hearts, 5 of clubs, and just like a deuce of spades or something like that. So you've got 3 to a straight, 3 to a straight flush. These are the kinds of hands that yeah, you could definitely CBET, but you don't want to be CBETting 100% of hands, obviously. So these are the kinds of hands that I like to check back and maybe get some, turn some equity if I can. Maybe turn an open-ended straight, turn a flush draw, things like this. And the reason we don't like to bet these is because since someone has 0 fold to CBET, we're just bloating the pot when we don't have much equity and we don't have showdown value. So, you're just making this big pot that you're going to have to barrel at. And, yeah, I did just say it's good to barrel, but you don't want to be barreling 100% of your hands. That should be obvious. So these are the kinds of hands that I'll allow my CBET percentage to drop. and try to turn some extra equity. Also, it shows weakness. So if we do turn a good turn card, so we turn a straight draw and a flush draw, for example, we can call pretty much any bet in hopes of getting like a backdoor straight, backdoor flush. And then if this like loose passive player also bets the river and we get there, we can make it look like a bluff or something by just raising huge. And we know that they like to call anyway. So anyway, the point of this is just to say it's good to have a few at least some sort of range where you check back the flop. You don't want to be c-betting 100% of the time because they will catch on, they'll change their strategy, and they'll stop being so exploitable. So the third one, number 3, we're going to be talking about c-betting all value hands. So basically anytime you flop top pair, you have an overpair, you have 2 pair, against someone who never folds to c-bet, you want to be betting all of these hands because you want to build a pot. You've got basically the nuts versus this person who never folds. And yeah, obviously you have to bet some hands for value. You're not just bluffing and semi-bluffing all the time. So these are our value hands, but our value range is so wide because they are usually like passive and loose. This is the kind of player that calls all c-bet, who has 0 fold to c-bet. This is an especially important one if they never check raise. So you can actually see their check raise percentage in Poker Tracker. It's not one of the default statistics, but you can click on their name and then you can click on the flop statistic and then look down and you'll see raise c-bet percentage. And if they never raise c-bets, you can just value bet like all of your hands pretty much. Like I said, any top pair, any middle pair top kicker, so like on a king jack 4 board, you can value bet ace jack there because you know that they're going to be calling all of their Broadway cards. And if someone who has 0 fold to c-bet, they're calling everything. So they're calling all of their ace highs. You can improve to 2 pair and they might call you down with like ace 10. So that's the point, is that you can just keep value betting all of your hands. So alright, so I actually just recorded that video and edited it, but I didn't include a very important part of it, and I only realized that now. So one last strategy that you need to employ is that if you just completely whiff and you feel like you've been c-betting too often, you're c-betting somewhere near 100%, and it seems like the table might be catching on. At some point, you also just want to check behind, and this is especially true with hands like ace highs that completely whiff, that have some amount of showdown value but aren't worth c-betting. So maybe something like ace 5, where you have some potential back doors, but you also are okay getting to showdown. These are the kinds of hands that I like to get to showdown with. And it also, again, keeps your c-bet rate not at 100%, because while we do want to c-bet and bluff these guys often, if you've also been playing against other types of players at the table, and again, your image just is getting to be too loose, you do want to check back your mediocre hands at times. I would say the bottom part of your value range, so again, just your hands that have showdown value, your middling pocket pairs, your ace highs, your king highs, things like this. Those are great hands to just check back and try to get to a showdown with without going crazy and just losing all of the value of the hand. That's it. That's just a quick little video for you, how to deal with people with a 0 fold to c-bet. So hopefully that has been helpful. Let me know in the comments what you like or dislike about the video. Let me get a like. That would be awesome. That's all I ask for you watching the video, and I guess I'll just see you guys later. So have a great day. Bye.